Sup, guys? Yeah. This is my last time. This is my last take. I've done it a couple times because there's people walking around, and every time I catch someone staring at me, it throws me off, and I get frustrated. But I'm laser focused this time because this is the last time I gotta be. Whew. I want to talk about twin flame rejection. Why does it hurt? I think that twin flame rejection is among the top 5 most painful things ever. And I'm a writer. You know, I was trained to take rejection. If I send out 50 letters to agents and publishers, and I'm lucky if I get one, if I hear from one, that means I just got rejected 49 times, and that's luck. That's great. And so I took that into my love life and decided that there are billions of women in this world, and I only want one. I only need one. That means there's gonna be a lot of no's, you know? There's gonna be a lot of no's. And so I'm okay with no's because every time someone rejects you, you're closer to getting the one. But when you find your twin flame and your one rejects you, it's a completely different story. Yeah, isn't it? And it hurts like hell. I think the main reason it hurts so much is because your twin flame is you. And when you are in rejection of self, you're facing the implication of worthlessness, that you are not worthy of that person's love. And this triggers a survival fear because we come into this world as babies completely dependent on someone to love us and take care of us. And if we don't get that, then we'll die. And so the fear of dying is associated with this rejection. So it's really intense. So wait, before I go there, there's 3 layers that I want to talk about. The first layer is if your twin flame is rejecting you, that means that you are essentially rejecting yourself in some way. And if your twin flame, I got distracted. The second thing is you want to look at who is the first person who rejected you and heal that wound. It's usually someone from our childhood, our parents or siblings or caretaker. And then the third thing is you want to look at if there's legitimate reasons your twin flame is rejecting you. So the first thing is rejecting self. Rejection was a big part of my life. I came into this world 2-spirit, queer gender, and my dad wanted a real boy and my mom wanted a real girl, and I couldn't fit those gender roles, so I felt rejected. And every time I did something to try to fit those gender roles, I would, despite all my comfort, wear a dress because my mom, maybe if I wear a dress to school today, my mom will love me. Or, maybe if I act more masculine, my dad will believe me that I'm a boy. Every time I made an effort to earn my parents' love, I rejected myself because I agreed with them and I said, who I am is not good enough. Who I am is not good enough, so I'm going to do this thing to become good enough. And I received this rejection from society as I got older, and I decided that fuck you guys, I'm gonna dress how I want to, and if that means that I'm dressed like a boy and I look like a boy, and society rejected me. Every time I tried to fit in and say, okay, maybe that's not who I am, I'm gonna do something else, I was saying that I'm not good enough. I was rejecting myself. In the Christian church, Christianity, I grew up in the Christian church and they rejected me. I wanted to go through I was in the process of going through gay conversion therapy because I truly believe that God hated my sexuality and was willing to torture me for all eternity. And the reason I aligned with this is because I was in rejection of myself. I didn't have that sense of self-worth. It wasn't strong enough for me to reject those beliefs. So And that's the same thing. Like I on it, like naturally took this tendency to my twin flame. So just like when everyone else told me that I wasn't good enough, whenever my twin flame rejected me, I agreed with her and decided, okay, I'm going to do something and earn her love. I'm going to become better. And so while I was doing the self-work, I was doing it with a low vibration. And we start where we are. If that's where you are, you start where you are. But do it in acceptance of who you are. You know, we become who we want to be because we love who we are now. You look at people who go to the gym. I'm really distracted right now. Sorry. We'll look at people who go to the gym, and some people go to the gym because they hate the way they look. And they hate the process, they hate working out, they hate diets, and they're not really successful. But then you go to the gym and you see people who love being there, and they love fitness, and they love working out, and they're far more successful at becoming healthy and getting the body type that makes them happy because they're doing it out of a place of love rather than self-loathing. And so the first thing is accepting yourself and disidentifying with all of those people, institutions, the social programming that implies that you're not good enough as you are. And I just lost my train of thought. Yeah. Hi. Hey, Poopy.
What are you making a movie?
YouTube.
What is it? What?
Twin Flames in Progress. It's kind of like a self-help spiritual thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No wonder you're crying, my boy. Coming.
All right. Forgot what I was saying. Self-help. Okay, so disidentifying, that means that for me it meant leaving the Christian church and letting go of anyone who made me feel like I wasn't good enough. People from my past who tried to treat me the way they used to treat me, fucking cutting them off. Not responding to people or ideologies that suggest that I'm not good enough. And taking this to my twin flame, if and when my twin flame makes me feel rejected, I realize that she's just triggering a wound that needs healing. And so it starts with accepting myself and doing all these things and seeing it not as, okay, I'm not worthy, but instead seeing it as, she's not ready. That means I'm not ready. I'm going to keep working on me. And loving yourself every single step of the way. Shadow work is a huge part of it, you know, because that part of you that was rejected, a lot of times we repress it because what we're learning is that it's like being conditioned to hide parts of us because people are not responding to it the way we want them to. But when you recalibrate yourself and you become your own source of happiness and your own source of love and your own source of peace, then it doesn't matter how other people respond. And then you start attracting those people who respond well. But you have to be willing to let go of those people, those institutions, those ideologies, and even make space, put space between you and your family if you have to, you know. And every time this wound is triggered, you want to you want to come home to yourself and purge it and meditate. I like to do yoga here in the park with no mat because it connects me to Mother, and it makes me feel safe and secure. And I do whatever it takes afterwards to make myself happy. And sometimes that means organic SpaghettiOs, like from Whole Foods, because it's a comfort food for my inner child. And sometimes it means, going hiking. Sometimes it means buying myself something that I want. But I really want to emphasize cutting out the toxicity and disidentifying with anyone who rejects you, and not chasing your twin flame, and not trying to be good enough for anyone, and really believing that you are good enough as you are. I listen to subliminals every single night. I listen to hypnotic subliminals every night that reprogram my mind while I'm sleeping. You want to check out, actually I'll drop a link to my sleep therapy playlist, and you guys can listen to it, or you guys can make your own playlist. But it really helps if your programming is severe. Also, let's not forget forgiveness. We have to forgive ourselves for putting ourselves through those things that we did when we didn't know any better, and for allowing the things that we allowed, allowing people to treat us like shit. Really take the time to forgive yourself, because you can't forgive anyone else until you forgive you. Yeah, and taking responsibility, at first it's like you get really angry because you realize that people your whole life has been treating you like shit. And it's really easy to start attacking those people and getting caught in this vicious cycle of anger. But when you take responsibility for the fact that you allowed it and you forgive yourself, it's much easier to work through that, forgive others, and then come to that place of peace, and boom, you can just let all that shit go. I also like to take Epsom salt baths, and as the water is draining, I'll lay in the tub and let the water drain. And as the water drains, I say, as this tub drains of water, so does my mind, body, heart, and auric fields drain of everything that no longer serves me. 3 times. Do that. I feel like I'm done. There's a lot of stuff going on here. And okay, the last one, I'm sorry. The last one was looking for legitimate reasons that your twin flame may have rejected you. And for me, it was because I was toxic. And I didn't want to see it. I didn't know it. I was doing the best I could, and the best I could was fucking toxicity. And taking responsibility for my toxicity has allowed me to forgive my twin flame. And it feels really good, because you come to that place of peace where everything is all good again. Taking responsibility for your own emotions, your own wounds, your own perspectives, your own ego stories. Yeah. Do those things, take your power back, make yourself feel good. And that's it. I love you guys.